Jungkook went nowhere but the second floor, which was where his classes took place. In other words, the floor for seniors. One never came here, not because it was off limits, but because it was kinda nerve wracking. And right now, that's all she felt. Jungkook grabbed her a drink from the vending machine, quietly paying for it. The headphones were around his neck once again. Here, he said as he extended the drink. One, thank you. I'll pay for it. She took it with shaky hands. JK, no need. There was Seon's dried blood on his hands, and yet it seemed to have no effect on him. Wine tried to avoid looking around, feeling so overwhelmed. Wine, he was bleeding. The committee will take you responsibility. Wine, I'm sorry, you got caught in this crossfire. I'm truly sorry, I'll take all the blame. She bowed 90 degrees before him and stayed like that for quite some time before he spoke. JK, take the blame for what? Getting bullied? Or manipulating a guy clearly older than you to injure someone? Wine, but JK, it was my own decision. If you're called, just stick to the truth and I'll handle myself. Wine straightened up. In this floor, he wasn't avoided like some storm. Students came, used the vending machine, even greeted him like he was a regular student. Wine, why are you bullied? Wine felt bad for staying quiet. She owed him the explanation. But she was too embarrassed and humiliated to accept the things happened to her in front of a man who got her respect, admiration, and maybe her heart too, in one meet. Ziggy, if someone disturb you again, say my name or come find me. He took out a pen and held Wine's hand, writing his number there, or contact me here. He pulled his hands back and Wine stared at the number written in her hand. Wine, can I contact you even if I don't get in trouble? That might have taken him by surprise. By the way, he slightly, finally showed a tiny reaction. Hmm, was all he said as a reply and walked past her to probably go to his class. Wine, Sambe? Wine called. He stopped and turned again. Wine, can I use your name as my boyfriend? I promise it won't disturb you or ask you to act like one in front of anyone. One had her hands joined behind her back and they were sweaty at this point. Her eyes widened up at a sudden realization. One, oh, I'm sorry. You must have already have a girlfriend. I'm sorry. It was stupid of me. Like, why must I already have one? Why, you're too handsome and kind to not have one. Kind? That was the first time someone called him that. Zeke, do whatever you want and go visit the nurse also. Mine smiled when he turned. At a time when her own friends left her, he helped her, brought her drink, and agreed to continue protecting her. No pain could ever overtake this emotion, full of joy. Wine took out her phone and immediately saved his number before rushing out of the senior block where she felt so tiny and scared. But when she didn't know was Jungkook, stayed by his class door until he was sure the number was saved in her phone. When Jungkook entered his class, he directly went to his seat. Yuta, who was that little girl outside with you? JK, why? Yuta, I heard you smashed a guy's head for her. Terry, whoa, for her? Is that not Ryan? She's quite famous these days. The whole class was interested. In here, he was treated normally. Yerin, she got proposed by Jim, that heartthrob, and rejected him. Since then, his so-called fans are bullying her. Well, whole proposal thing was an excuse. Everyone just needs a reason to use someone like their trash. Yuta, why doesn't she tell her parents or the committee and Jungkook? They're probably going to drag you to the jail at this point. JK, yeah? We'll see that when they do that. Bullied for rejecting a heartthrob. So she was paying for someone else's fantasies. Jungkook scoffed at irony. Yuta, my father's a lawyer. Tell me when you need help. JK, he looked kind of excited to see me in jail. The class chuckled. The atmosphere was quite easy and comfortable, unlike mine's class, where all they cared about was looks, fangirling, and bullying the weak. The class started, and as soon as the professor entered, Jungkook was asked to visit the principal's office. He expected it, so he quietly got up and left. As Jungkook entered the office, he found Wine already there, the principal, and a very angry looking woman, probably the mother of the guy he blew the head off. Linda, so it was you. You did that to my son? She marched over to Jungkook and raised her hand to slap him. The hand Jungkook grabbed and stopped before it hit him. The terror that angry woman held like some bursted volcano was nothing before the terror Jungkook's calm and composed eyes reflected. David, Miss Linda, please avoid using violence. We promise to provide justice to this matter. Linda, avoid violence? After your student has crushed my son's head? He's in a critical condition. Do you understand what that means? How dare he? JK, so, you are the mother of a monster who beats girls and treat them like slaves. Linda, what? JK, did you not tell them what he did to you? His eyes shifted to Wine, and unknowingly, Wine took a step towards Jungkook, feeling so safe like she could conquer the world. Wine told them everything from getting abused physically and mentally to doing their work and being treated like a slave. Jungkook didn't know the whole story before, and hearing it only enraged him further. Linda, she was bullied. Who the hell are you to hurt my son in her place? JK, it's supposed to be obvious for common minds, but for your kind intelligence, I'm her boyfriend. A man who has future planned with her. Your son hurt my future. It involves me. Linda, 3 months. It had been going on for 3 months and you decided to let it escalate this point. Why didn't you complain as soon as it started and ended it there? Jungkook chuckled when Linda's outburst shifted to whine again. The weak, like mother, like son. Jungkook stepped forward daringly, one by one towards Linda, who crumbled a little under his intense eyes and composure. David, the principal, called out Jungkook's name as a warning. It went on deaf ears. JK, so, instead of thanking my girlfriend for giving your son 3 months and countless times at redemption, you're asking why I didn't blow his brain 3 months ago. JK, my bad. I'll be quick on my feet next time. Linda, where are their parents? I am taking this to the police. She turned to David. Mine held Jungkook's arm standing behind him, her eyes begging to not escalate this anymore. Wine, you'll get in trouble, she whispered with pleading eyes. While in the background, the principal tried to calm down Linda, but when the woman took out her phone, Wine immediately stepped forward and bowed to apologize. Jungkook grabbed her wrist and pulled her against him. In a way, Wine's front crashed against his front, and her head stayed in his chest. JK, when the police needs me, I'll come and deal accordingly. Until then, I believe we're not needed here anymore. His eyes shifted to David, who visibly tensed under them, and then took Wine out of there. When they finally settled, Wine broke down due to stress, unable to understand a thing. Wine, why? This is going to put you in so much trouble. It can even endanger your education and career. Why would you put fuel to the fire? I could apologize. JK, if asking you won't help, then let me remind you. You owe me for helping you, and in return, you are obligated to not give up, bow, or do something stupid like apologizing. Wine balled her fists, then left her speechless and useless in this whole thing. The silence fell, her head and heart still was a mess. She should have tolerated it quietly. She should have never asked for help and ruined a student's life, especially a man like him, a man with cold eyes and no fear. Yet, once looked deep into them, it looks like he has been to hell and back. JK, I have no one in my family, and by the looks of it, you never called yours because you don't want them involved. And the principal is never doing that without my will. Warren, what do you mean? The principal? Do you know him personally? He exhaled. JK, I had an older sister. She was bullied like you, maybe much worse. She never shared a thing with anyone and ended her life. It was a suicide. JK. Everyone deals with their depression differently. She chose to stay happy. At home, she always seemed so happy and active you could never tell she was in trouble. Wine's hands turned cold. She had no answer to that. JK. Mom took a toll, but my father was worse. He completely lost himself. He was so health-drawn and taking revenge for her, visiting lawyer and police station daily, fighting her case. That was all in his mind. One day, on the way to the station, they got in an accident. JK. 2 weeks after losing my sister, I lost my parents. In 1 month, I attended the funeral of my whole family, and I was only 12 at that time. He opened the can of soft drink in his hand and casually took a sip, like none of it affected him. Did it really not affect him, or had he been through the hell so many times that this pain has become his companion at this point? JK, my sister was bullied in this school. I might have been 12 old, but my father was a wealthy man. After his death, according to his will, the lawyers continued the case. David owes me for dropping it. JK, if he gets the police involved, he knows I'm bringing up the previous case as well. Two bully cases, and one guy now in the hospital bed with his skull open. His college is going to shut down for sure. There will be no escaping this. JK, I'm turning 18 next year. According to Dad's will, until I become an adult, another CEO is appointing to handle the business. Starting next year, I can either take it over or let someone else handle the business for me. In other words, it's all mine within a year. JK, knowing all this, David will protect me with all he got, and as long as you have me, you're under my protection. One, back in there, you were so good at claiming a stranger as your future. It seemed real. JK, it could be. I looked at him confused and asked him to elaborate, but he chose to stay silent over it. Then the next few days they spent in silence when Vine tried to digest the man she fell for, went through so much hell and holds so much power. Vine, my father died when I was in an elementary school. He was in military. One day they brought their uniform soaked in blood. Mom has been sick since. She gave tutor to children at home. It keeps her busy and help pays the bill. One, I couldn't involve her in this. She wouldn't be able to handle all the stress and pain. Jungkook stayed quiet still. One, would you like to come over for lunch after college today? One, mom really likes guests or any sort of company and always asks me to bring my friends home. I told her I have a lot of them, but in real, I don't. She'll be happy to have you. It's okay, fine by me. I'll go take the rest of the classes and meet you out of time. Wine nodded. He stood up and walked away, running a hand through his hair. Wine's heart hurt at his story and fluttered at his behavior at the same time. He was truly handsome, charming, kind, protecting, and caring, even when he knew her for one day. Which girl would not fall for a man like him? Even in his back was so attractive as he walked away from her. The rest of the classes, she heard countless gossips about how Sihun ended up in hospital due to wine and her boyfriend who turned out to be the monster they were scared of. Yet no one tried approaching her anymore. At off time, Wine quickly stepped on the steps and rushed out of the college, but Jungkook beat her to it. He was already there waiting for her, leaning against the gate and using his phone, wearing headphones. He looked nothing less than a model. Wine, did I make you wait? JK, no, I just came. The phone slipped in his pocket and headphones around his neck. Wine continued walking and he followed obediently. Wine, by the way, why is everyone scared of you? Like, usually the juniors. When I went to your floor, everyone was quite normal around you. JK, there are rumors about me killing someone. One, rumors? JK, these kids believe in rumors, but people around me see the real me, not some stories. JK, who started those rumors? JK, I did. One halted and looked at him confused. JK, there was this guy I was annoyed of, so I told him I threw a man from the fifth floor. One, and was it true? What a stupid question. JK, what do you think? One shivered. Not at the question, but how his tone suggested that it was real. It was truth. JK did that to a guy who turned out to be one of those who bullied his sister. The guy lived at the end. Wine walked them both home. It was a normal sized home. Wine opened the door and both of them removed their shoes at the entrance. When Jungkook stepped inside, he found a woman on a couch with a lot of notebooks around. Wine, Mom, I brought a friend. Her mother's eyes instantly lit up at that. Wine, this is Jungkook Sambinim, and she's my mother. JK, good afternoon, ma'am. I hope you're doing good today. Mother, oh, look at this handsome young man. Come here, come here. She immediately pat beside her where Jungkook took a seat. Jungkook wondered, how could someone shine this much just by meeting a stranger? Mother, thank you for coming here. She never brings anyone. In fact, it's the first time she ever brought a guy. And somebody? Are you older than her? JK, yes, I'm one grade ahead of her. Mother, oh, that's great. I'm so happy you came. I'll make lunch for you both. JK, you do not have to trouble yourself. Mother, trouble? You came here. You're like my son now. Fine. Show him around till then. One's mother stood up, all happy and left to the kitchen. Jungkook had never received such affection from an elder before. When his parents were alive, he was too young to remember any of that. Wine, I hope it didn't bother you. She gets too excited for this. JK, don't worry about that. So, that's you in that frame? I looked behind herself at the picture frame where she was holding a gold medal. One, it's from elementary school. I took first position. Honestly, that was the only time I ever took a position. She chuckled and plopped down as well. JK, I take that in every grade. One parted her lips. No way. JK, but I don't look that cute like that. So I guess one time makes up for all those grades. One blinked at the audacity of this man to make her blush just by calling her cute. Cute. He calls her cute. One cleared her throat and stood up. One, I'll go help mom, she said and rushed to kitchen. She wanted an escape, but before she knew it, Jungkook had followed her to the kitchen as well and now was standing beside her mother and actually helping her with cooking. He seemed quite good at it, and her mother truly treated him like her own son. She seemed so happy, and this whole picture truly helped Wine heal from the inside. Her wounds seemed to have closed at the mere sight, and she couldn't help but dream of it to be true. Dream of having him here as her mother's son in law. It seemed so real. Wine helped setting the table, and the trio had lunch. Jungkook praised the cooking a lot, truly loving homemade food he never tasted in such a long time. Mom, you must come here a lot, okay? I'll cook you more food. You can even stay here. Jungkook nodded while her mother pat his cheeks softly and packed him a lot of homemade food. Now, currently, Wine stood by her home's main door to see Jungkook off. JK, David called. He has managed to convince Linda to not escalate the matter, seeing as her own son was at fault and was going to take a blow as well. She dropped the matter. Wine, that's such a relief. JK, don't mind me coming here often. That's clearly your fault. Wine, please come whenever you want. The door's always open for you. Wine's feet curled. If she was alone, she would be dancing in happiness. Jungkook held meal boxes in one hand while his other hand stayed in his pocket. If Wine was delulu enough, it felt like seeing her husband off at the doorstep. JK, go inside. I'll leave once you do. She waved and then closed the door and stuck her back to it, putting a hand on her fluttering heart while Jungkook walked away. He couldn't go much far before he received a text. Thank you for coming today. Please visit often. Wine. From an unknown number. A A smile appeared on his lips. He found a mother in that lady and maybe a girl to adore. Life suddenly sounded so pleasant.